Today we are talking about the film Manthan as a film recommendation. It is directed by the doyen of Indian cinema, Mr. Shyam Benegal, a great filmmaker, legendary filmmaker. And we are doing this recommendation because Mr. Girish Karnad, another legend, passed away recently. The great playwright, actor, director, activist, you name it, and Mr. Karnad was all in one. So this is respect, as a mark of respect from Cinema Satsang to this great man, Mr. Girish Karnad, and his film which he acted in, Manthan, in which he played the main role. It also featured Smita Patil and Naseeruddin Shah in major roles. This film is actually the first crowd-funded film in India. It is made by the farmers who paid rupees 2 each to Mr. Benegal to make this film, and Dr. Varghese Kurian, the milk revolution guy, urged Mr. Benegal to make this film, Manthan. So the film starts, the credits start with 5 lakh farmers present, Manthan, so the film starts like that, and the train comes to the platform and lovely folk tune which has been adapted in the film, and Karnad comes out of the train and he comes to the station, so handsome, so smart, such a charismatic and fantastic personality, Girish Karnad. So he comes to the platform and he has come to a village to start a cooperative, a milk cooperative. And this place, as many villages in India, people are shortchanged. The farmers are shortchanged. The people who supply the milk, they are not given their due. The local money lender buys the milk at a very low price and then gives them loans in lieu of loans which they'll never be able to repay. And he buys the milk at a very low price. The quintessential villain, Amrish Puri, his 87th birthday also went away recently. And what a line of credits. When you look at the credit list, the script is by Vijay Tendulkar, camera by Govind Nilhani, dialogues by Kaifi Azmi, and in the beginning of the film, Amrish Puri, the quintessential villain, establishes the premise of the film. He says that
आप चिंता मत कीजिए महापात्र जी, नौजवान हमेशा आदर्शवादी होते हैं.
नौजवान हमेशा आदर्शवादी होते हैं, दुनिया को बदलने की भावना रखते हैं. और the reply comes, ये तो उनकी मूर्खता है. So Karnad is the person who is given in charge to form this cooperative. He is idealistic, suave, and not the one to mince words. Then Puri says that
और फिर किसी भी नौजवान में आदर्श भावना देखकर बड़ा अच्छा लगता है, क्योंकि जल्दी ही गायब होने वाली चीज है.
But Karnad is here to stay. He doesn't give up. He doesn't give an inch. He is an idealistic person, positive person, and he is determined to set the cooperative. In spite of all the odds, he and his team comprising of Mohan Agashe and Anant Nag, they face a lot of odds in the film, including attacks on their homes, and people ignored them, and various other things. The drama builds up as the film progresses. But he doesn't give up. The villagers start to trust him a little bit when a villager's son falls ill, falls sick. And Karnad, who is a doctor of animals, he rescues that kid, and the next morning all the villagers line up to him for treatment, and then he starts treating them, and slowly the acceptance starts coming for Karnad and his men. And then Karnad's men measure the milk properly and give them the right money which is due to them, which is rightfully theirs. There is a scene in the film where after treating the child, Mohan Agassi and Karnad are returning back to their house, and it's a sunrise shot, and Mohan Agassi tells him that this was unethical what you did of giving the child this medicine. And Karnad is such a positive person. He says, don't worry, sab theek ho jayega, everything will be alright. And this is the sunrise shot. So hats off to Mr. Benegal for this kind of symbolism. The person initially who doesn't give him milk sample is Smita Patil. She is the moped, pungent, attractive, raw farmer, and her husband is good for nothing. And Karnad's wife, who doesn't stay with him right now, she'll join with him later, is another unique character who just keeps on listening to the radio and doesn't understand the problems of Karnad and the society in which he is living and the kind of changes he wants to make. So Smita Patil is the only person initially, but later on, and of course there is Naseeruddin Shah as well, who is also against the Shahri Babus because he's a bastard child and his mother was used by supposedly a Sheher ka person or a person from the town. So these two are against him, but Smita Patil, after this child is cured by Karnad, also starts giving him milk. So in this scenario of establishing a cooperative milk cooperative society wherein farmers get their due, wherein there is no discrimination on the basis of rich, poor, caste, creed. The Sarpanch is as equal as the Harijan. Sarpanch is played by Kurbushan Karbanta. It's a very uncanny coincidence that I reviewed Article 15 today, but Manthan speaks about all these issues of caste, creed, equality at that time, and this cooperative helped to dismantle this kind of setup, upar, niche, jaat, paat and all that. So the second point which I want to make is, apart from this, the film is also about it's also a unrequited love story between Smita Patil and Girish Karnad. It is a very subtle attraction which builds up because Smita Patil is beautiful, raw. Benegal has captured her close-ups, her sensuality, her beauty very well, and Karnad falls for her in one scene where she is washing her legs and her the glass on the blouse is shining. That's a scene is filled with eroticism without any skin show or going deep or explicitness. It is a very subtle scene and it is full of eroticism and it's a beautiful scene, and it's also unrequited love story. Smita Patil slowly falls in love with Karnad in a way, and his ways and his mannerisms and his righteousness. So she expects a lot from him in the later stages of the film. And later her husband objects when he comes back, and he is, of course, Amrish Puri guides him, and he objects to this friendship, a little friendship, and he tells him never to come back again. And later on he is framed. Girish Karnad is framed in the film. Second half has a lot of drama. Girish Karnad is driving a truck and he has to go through many various things. I told you he is idealistic, and he was idealistic in real life too. He was a man who believed in the freedom of speech. He was a cultural icon. When Gauri Lankesh died recently, he also moved with that. He was on the hit list in the recent times, and he moved with the placard, "Me Too Naxalite." So yeah, you can Google about Karnad and you can watch about him. So coming back to Manthan, Govind Nilhani's camera work is also excellent, and lovely tracking shots throughout the film. But there are 2 or 3 places where he shows his virtuoso. In one shot where her husband tries to force himself upon Smita Patil, a lovely light pattern is there on the wall. Then in one shot when Naseeruddin Shah offers Smita Patil money, which is given by Karnad to help her out because a buffalo has died, she is running away in the shot, and Naseeruddin Shah looks at her and he's in the foreground and she's running away in the background. So shots like these, there are 3-4 shots like these which in the second half which show Nilhani's and Benegal's virtuoso as well. For me, the best scene in the film and the best scene of Girish Karnad in the film is when he is falsely implicated of raping Smita Patil, and Amrish Puri has made her sign these documents. And the lawyer comes and says that okay, we'll withdraw the case and this is the money, please accept this money in lieu of your mental harassment. And the way he gets angry.
Please get out of here! Get out of here! The bastard! He thinks he can kick me around as he likes.
The way Karnad gets angry and he comes in such a rage. But it's not just rage, it's a strange mixture of rage and melancholy, of sadness. That how can you offer me this money? How can you offer me, an idealistic person who is trying so hard, to make things right? How can you? It's a deep sadness. So it's a strange mixture of rage and melancholy. It's a beautiful performance, a beautiful scene. And that was his best for me in this film, and I'm really blown away by that scene and that shot. And later on he is transferred in the film as usual, but he has made the cooperative successful now. The cooperative is successful, the villagers are self-reliant, and now this baton is carried forward by Naseeruddin Shah Bhola, who is a Harijan, who is totally against them earlier on, but later he understands. When Bhola Naseeruddin Shah understands the mission, he is completely for it, and he takes up the baton, and he also runs, when Karnad is leaving, he runs to the station to see him off. So all in all, a beautiful film. Karnad at his charismatic best. Karnad is very idealistic. He's not just a Sarkari Karamchari in the film, but he is an idealist. But he's a lot more in the film, who wanted to set things right. And I think in real life, he was also like that. He was not just an artist, but a lot more. And the art world and the world in general will definitely feel a void without him. So, respect and love for Girish Karnad, wherever you are, sir.
मेरो गाम काठा पारे जा, दूध की नदियाँ वाहे जा, कोयल को गाए मारे घर आंगना ना भूलो ना।